So, you rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Out here in the cold, the rain, the snow. It don't matter what weather we rocking in. Let's take a walk with it. And you see the light above the head, that's the light bulb on. That's the mind working. Let's say this. I have the full roster, every single person from start to finish that are part of every single group that was around Tentacion. Now, I've had it in sporadic manners, so it wasn't the full roster. No, now I have the full roster and the dates from which you guys were part of the team, and the dates from which you were rocking with the team. This is interesting now because this can go many different ways. Some of the names I know, some of the names I never heard of. Some of the names are even known to have championed the support of trying to figure out exactly what happened to this man. So I applaud for you guys. No hands out, I applaud for you. But what I want to know is the gaps and years of the people that are affiliated that have funny business on the side. You see, I have other information. Yep, it's a lot of information to go through, but I'll break it down as best as possible. I have other information of other ways and other falling outs that could have occurred around Tentacion. Now, I don't know if they're true, but I do know they exist. I don't know if they're relevant, but I do know that they were in existence to possibly, potentially cause a setup by a mastermind. So here's what I'm saying. Through his tough times, he admitted to having people that helped him. I've watched every interview at least twice. He admitted to having people that helped him, people that he helped in return. But there was a point in time that he started realizing a lot of people weren't really there for him. And when I'm looking at the dates of memberships, some names are aligning with the time that he said this. That's my point. Now, I want to know when these are aligning and lining up to say, look, these people weren't really rocking with me. I thought they were my friend. Am I supposed to suspect you guys had something to do with that? Is it possible that when he started seeing this, that you were helping him to realize this by your actions? Now, with that said, none of the names of the suspects line up anywhere here. Why? Why are these random suspects, random people that I knew towards the end of his time here with us that he was rocking with? Some of them he even mentioned in video as being his dude that was talented. But these are the men that went for him? That's confusing. And I know this wasn't the first time he dealt with it. I know this wasn't the first time he dealt with people trying to harm him. Why now, though? What was the catch now? Well, if we consider that a bag was some type of potential influence, can we also consider that possibly in the past times, allegedly, a bag was considered then for the issues going on with him? And here's my thing. It wasn't looking at his worth. It was the fact that someone else was going to have a bag in their hand that would never get a bag off of him. Why is that? The more I'm considering these things, the more sense is starting to make. And here's the thing. You guys send the threats to everybody that you send them to. But here's the thing. I wouldn't do that because you don't know if they're talking to me. Because once they talk to me, there are a million eyes on you that you never knew would be on you. And that's where you mess up. You send your threats to people that have already made contact with the TheCzarr, a descendant. And you can figure out who I descend from, but just know the knowledge is power. You heard that many times, but I'm indicative of that. I'm the very essence of how that stands. So here's what I want to say to you. Looking at this roster, I applaud those who have been in support and publicly stood their ground in supporting him. But I also see those who have had funny actions and have been potentially who he could have been alluding to because of the situation, the timing, and when his money came and when he was going through his tough times. So tell me this. Who really stood on his side? Who really supports these four men getting bagged for something they were involved in without including those who was part of the mastermind setup? I perceive the masterminds closer than ever. And they may not get it, but I will. all rights reserved.